Okay.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on this September 9th. We hope you had a great weekend. And of course, we always look forward to being able to come together for the area's only live local talk and entertainment show. We like to call it Virginia This Morning. I'm Amy Lacey. This guy is Mr. Bill Bevins. Good morning.
Yep, I am. Good morning to you, too. And, folks, you know what? We consider you, our valued friends and viewers of the show, to be our extended family, and we are so happy to have you tune in each weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. So, a gorgeous weekend.
It was a gorgeous weekend.
Couldn't ask for anything better than that. I was talking to folks in the back, and it's like, I didn't go in the house. It was like, I got to go in, yeah, I got to run in for a minute, and I'm right back out again.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you want to even go in? Because we had the crispness, we had the warmth still, we had sunshine. It could not have gotten better. And you know, when you have weather like that, the smiles come naturally. Yeah. It's just a great thing.
Yeah, I had a fantastic time this weekend. Like I said, it couldn't have gone any better, and we had a fantastic crowd. We're going to talk about a little bit later on about Westchester and the
a really big day yesterday.
Simon's yesterday. Anyway, it was fantastic. Hope you had a wonderful weekend as well. And as we always do, we're going to start today with a preview. We'll send it over to Andreas White-Murdaugh, who kicks things off for us. Hey, Andreas, hope you are doing great and kick off another great week together.
Yes, hello, Mr. B and Amy. Happy Monday. It is the second Monday in September, and after a great weekend, you might need to push the reset button. Our dear friend of the show, award-winning author and writing coach, Stacey Hawkins Adams, is here, and we continue our Motivational Monday series. Today's topic is focusing on a quote attributed to both Arthur Ashe and President Theodore Roosevelt. Start where you are, use what you have. Do what you can. Our conversation is coming up in less than 10 minutes. And Amy and Mr. B, there's more in store, too.
That's right. The organization Reach Out for Life is a much-needed resource in our community as they are committed to providing mammograms to the underserved. Nora Lind is the executive director, and today she's going to share a preview of the 2024 Swing for Pink Charity Golf Annual Tournament. That's still to come on our live show here on this Monday morning.
Always good to see Nora. It means something good's going to happen. All right, folks, the Petersburg Sheriff Office is hosting their 14th annual Reentry Forum. That's this year's theme, and it's continuing. The Climb is the theme. The journey begins. Petersburg Sheriff Vanessa Crawford is here, along with Probation and Parole Chief Shantae Tweet. Details are coming up in just a little bit.
Now it's time to go outside to our CBS 6 meteorologist, Tom Patton, who has a look at the local Monday forecast, and hopefully more of that beautiful weekend weather is to come. Right, Tom?
You know, you guys, there are places in the country that are like this.
All the time, right?
Like
what?
4/5 of their year is like this.
What?
Right.
When do we leave?
That's what I'm thinking. And this is like nothing. We're like, oh, what a great weekend. We had nice weather both days, and Monday's nice too. That's 3 great days in a row, and this and that. And, you know, I think I do want to say probably somewhere maybe south of San Francisco. Is that?
Yeah, I was going to say Northern California has this kind of wickedly awesome weather. So I had a Boston kind of a thing there, wickedly awesome.
Yeah.
Boston?
Boston does not, but I said wickedly awesome to describe California's weather.
Okay. All right, I got a little confused there. All right, so here's the thing, though. I don't like shaking that much, so that's probably out.
Well, you know, and I'm guessing that's a good point, Bill. You're right. No, you're right.
We got nice weather 4 days in a row, but there's that other stuff.
But you're walking around, you never know, and all of a sudden, and yes, you're right.
Yeah. We'll stay here.
So I guess nothing's perfect. So let's be happy with what we just had. And, you know, September tends to be one of our nicer months, and sometimes rolling into October before things start getting a little too chilly. Well, anyway, we have this. This is the second or third time we've had this now in the last few weeks with the nice, cool Canadian air mass. We were down in the lower 50s. The air is dry, so we're warming quickly today. We're already at 66. The dew point's up to 56, too. So things are changing rapidly. It's not going to get too hot today. We expect to top out around 80 or so, but now that the sun's out and we're still technically in the first We'll call it 3rd of September. It's enough to warm us. So we're bouncing quickly. Shenandoah Valley, Stanton was down in the 30s this morning with frost advisories. So there you go. So we're warming up. Make it to about 80 today. Mild sunshine, low humidity, nice dry air, great outdoor stuff. If you need to do anything, hang the clothes, paint, cut the grass. Perfect weather for it because the air is nice and dry, and things will kind of dry quickly. 54 tonight, another nice cool night for us. High pressure's dominating. Keeping an eye on this system, potential tropical cyclone 6 could become a tropical storm at some point, maybe later today or tonight. But for us, the next couple of days look great. Lots of sun today, clear skies tonight. Tomorrow, lots of sun. Probably a few more clouds will start to drift in as we go into the day on Wednesday, but temperatures will start to warm. Nothing crazy though, but 80 today, 50s for the next few nights, and then mid-80s probably for the remainder of the week. And overnight lows will eventually become the 60s, but believe it or not, that's still pretty nice. All right, Virginia This Morning will continue right after this.
Virginia This Morning is the place where you can find out what's trending in and around our community. I'm Amy Lacey here with Mr. Bill Bevins. We have a great Monday on tap.
We are ready to go, and we're going to have a lot of fun today. We have a unique opportunity to feature some interesting things on our live show. There's always something you can enjoy when you tune in each weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Now is a great time to do a recap for those of you who are just joining us.
Nora Lind is the executive director at Reach Out for Life. She's going to fill us in on their 2024 Swing for Pink golf tournament.
All right. Hey, let's go over to Andreas. There's more in store too, right?
Yes. Well, I'm here with Stacey Hawkins-Adams. She shares some great motivational topics, and today we'll talk about start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. This interesting conversation is on the horizon. All right, Amy and Bill, back to you.
All right. Thank you, ladies. All right. We want to put this community calendar event on your radar. New Hanover Presbyterian Church in Mechanicsville, Virginia, is sponsoring a free special pre-release of the movie A Case for Love. It's happening next Monday, September the 16th, 6:30 p.m. at the Bird Theater right here in Carytown. Screening begins at 6:30 p.m.
The film is inspired by the teachings of Bishop Michael Curry, the current presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church and the first African American to serve in that role. He is most well known for his sermon, The Power of Love, which was at the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
For more information, just visit our show website by early this afternoon at virginiathismorning.com. Andreas, back over to you.
Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. It's a quote attributed by Arthur Ashe and President Theodore Roosevelt. It is the focus of today's Monday motivational series, and award-winning author and writing coach Stacey Hawkins-Adams is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back. Always a pleasure to have you. And it always gets me centered around what I should be focused on for the week. So this week, you've got a quote that we've probably heard, but maybe haven't thought too much about.
Right, exactly. I'm sure many of us have heard this quote since it is attributed to Richmond's own Arthur Ashe. And I wanted to start there because I actually landed last night from Arkansas, coming in from my high school reunion of 35 years. And so it was really an amazing time spent with longtime friends. Some I have kept in touch with, some I haven't seen. But during our banquet on Saturday night, we just kind of reflected on how we started and what our hopes and dreams were. And, you know, small town Arkansas, 60,000 people, and a lot of us had big dreams. I wanted to be a writer, a friend wanted to be a pilot, another wanted to be an oral surgeon, and many more things. And we've done those things. But it came from a foundation of having support around us, people who believed in us, who helped us believe in our own dreams. So I wanted our audience to think about that today.
Absolutely. First of all, I'm going to need to see some ID because I don't believe that you should be celebrating 35 years of high school success, if you will. And you bring up a great point that it's easy to get caught in the day-to-day of, I need to do this, I need to do that, I don't have this, it would be more ideal if. But you're saying take inventory of what you have done,
right,
what you have achieved, and maybe look back at some of those centering goals that we had when we didn't know quite what the world offered, and we'll see that we've done a lot of those things.
Exactly, because yes, as young people, we say dream big. That doesn't end with age. So even now, I have hopes and dreams and goals, and I have a list. I've got my list of goals that I want to accomplish in the next 6 months, the next year, the next 5 years. Where do I want to be? So you have that list of goals, and starting where you are means saying, okay, what do I have today? What can I start with? Is it just the idea? Do I need to watch some YouTube videos? Perhaps I can't go back to school, but maybe I can study university YouTube. There's so much there. Or maybe I know someone who's in that field that I could either hire as a coach, or maybe I can take that person to lunch, or maybe I can go to the library and read books. What are the things I can start with that can spur me on and give me the confidence and the motivation to keep going?
That's right. We often have more resources around us than what we realize or what we tap into. And so looking around to see where is that low-hanging fruit? What could I do that would start me on the path today? I think I especially think of things, what I call mental mountains,
yes,
these big things that we have to accomplish in order for us to get over the finish line. But we can start today, just with what we have.
Right, so when you think about the big finish line or that big thing, we've kind of talked about that before, you want to start with the small part of it. So again, I always talk about books because I'm an author. To get to that 300 pages, I've got to start with writing the first page, maybe 15, 30 minutes, and then the next day I'll write for 15 or 30 more minutes, and the next day I'll write, and then before you know it, I've got the 50 pages, and 50 gets me closer to the 300. So whatever that goal is, if you study and you kind of know how to get there, you have a sense of how to get there because you've studied or researched, you can begin to take those baby steps. And I think the other important thing is to think about who you're surrounding yourself with. So because you talked about this mountain, you've got to have the folks that can help you climb the mountain. I used to tell a story years ago when I did some public speaking. There was a mouse trying to climb a mountain, and mouses don't climb mountains. And so all the other mice, as they were trying to climb the mountain, they could hear the other folks saying, that's a mouse. Mouse don't climb mountains. What are they doing? That's so silly. And they would fall. Well, this one mouse just kept going, and reached the top. And they were like, how did the mouse reach the top? That mouse was deaf. Couldn't hear the naysayers.
Oh, wow.
So the point of that is surround yourself with people. They're going to tell you the truth. They're going to they're going to level with you, but they're your biggest cheerleaders. They're saying, yes, I think you can. Let me help you accomplish that. Versus saying, I don't think so. Why do you think you can do that?
That's right. It's so important that we've talked about that internal speak,
Yes.
And what's surrounding you as well is just as important.
Yes.
You need folks around you to encourage you so that what you're telling yourself about what you can accomplish and where you can start and what you can do is all positive.
Absolutely, and absolutely. And I tell young people, my children, my young adults included, that whatever age and stage, you always need coaches and mentors. The CEOs who are running the top companies, they have executive coaches. The folks who won gold at the Olympics, they had people coaching them on. So who are the coaches? Who are those folks in your corner who are going to say, yes, you can, especially on the days when you do have some doubts, because we're human, that will happen. Who are those who are going to cheer you on through that?
Absolutely. Having a group of people, your safe space to help you. Give me the quote one more time.
Start where you are, do what you can with what you have. And I didn't say it quite right, but we're going to get it right on screen. But even if you don't say it quite right, if you have the components of it, that's what you need to kind of tell yourself as you're moving forward.
That's right. Start where you are, do what you can with what you have. We're going to do that, and we're going to make sure that we get our week started with just that frame of mind. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
It is always great to have Stacey Hawkins Adams in our studio, and she sends out weekly Motivational Monday emails. If you want more information or if you'd like to subscribe, just visit StaceyHawkinsAdams.com. Now, you stay tuned. Virginia This Morning is coming back, and there's more to enjoy right after this.
Welcome back. It's been a taboo topic for decades, but it's critically important to raise awareness. Being able to express your feelings is vital for your mental well-being. Our next guest is a professional mental health speaker and suicide education expert. She's here to talk about zero suicide and resources to share with families following their child's suicide attempt. Ann Moss-Rogers, welcome back to our live show here on Virginia This Morning.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
I, of course, personally met you. Gosh, it's been 10, 12 years ago
It
already.
has.
And you have really taken your personal story to the masses. Will you share your experiences and your why for why you got involved in doing this?
Sure. So in around 2010, my son started to struggle, and I didn't really know why. And so I figured it had something to do with mental health. I knew that substance misuse was also in the mix. So I joined a youth mental health organization, and I joined the board because I was having a hard time finding that group of people. And then between around 2010 and 2015, our family lives were chaos. My son would be diagnosed with depression, would become addicted to heroin, and he killed himself in 2015. Now, this was the funniest, most popular kid in school. He was the last person you would have ever thought would have killed himself.
Yeah.
And I can't relay to you the shock when they delivered that news to us. They told us they had found our son dead that morning, and I thought, sure, it had to be a heroin overdose. But when my husband asked how did he die, the policeman said it was a suicide, and the method left no question. There were signs, but I wasn't educated about what those signs were, so I had no idea. And it would take years of obsession to understand why suicide.
I'm so sorry. Every time I hear your personal story, I feel for you. I'm also so proud of you that you are using this to go out there and to raise so much awareness, not just in our community, but across the globe.
Yeah.
There is a new resource now because this is a reality for a lot of families.
It is.
There are students from elementary school and up who are attempting suicide. But tell us about this new resource that is available, this video for parents for after that attempt and how they can get their children back on path.
So it's called After Your Child's Suicide. And it is a 55-minute documentary with parents and experts to help you sort of calm that chaos of emotions after your child's suicide attempt. Because particularly in those first 30 days after, we need to focus on ourselves and calming and bringing ourselves to a place of calm, which is really, really hard to do. And we also need to not be hyper-vigilant to the point that it drives our children, crazy. So there needs to be, and it talks about all the different solutions and the experiences we have, other family members, groups you can join. But I think one of the things, and you felt this too, when you leave the hospital with a baby, you feel like, they're just gonna let me walk out of here?
Oh, right. It's a huge responsibility, right?
They're just gonna let me take this child and home, and it sort of has that same feeling. No one is qualified for this. This was not in our playbook of parenting ever.
Yeah.
So we do need guidance, and it's really the first film ever shared that fills this gap because we don't support parents very much, and we need to.
This whole community, and I've always been very passionate about using my voice to give to others and causes, and mental health has been one of those that is it's just at the core of raising awareness about it, is who I am and what I'm about. And something that you taught me years ago that I have since shared with many people is that the term commit suicide is very outdated, and it's frankly insensitive, that the term die by suicide is what should be used these days. Why is that? Let's educate our community about raising that level of empathy for this community.
Well, it further stigmatizes and makes suicide sound like it's a crime. And it's not. It's something people are driven to in a moment of extreme pain. And they don't have full faculty over their emotions at that time, usually. And there's usually some precipitating event that pushes them towards wanting to die by suicide. So in 1300s, 1400s England, it was a crime. And people are like, how do you convict somebody of, dying by suicide or attempting? And if somebody died by suicide in that family, what they did is they denied that family member burial. They denied them a service. And they also took all the inheritance and donated it to the Crown of England. So it was a lot of shame and humiliation, and those were sort of the charges. Well, it's been in our lexicon for hundreds of years, right? But these days, it's recognized by the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Mental Health, and the Department of Defense as a public health crisis, a public health issue, not a crime. So we need to start viewing it that way. And so I ask people to change the language and say died by suicide, killed himself, or even as a verb, suicided.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ann Moss Rogers, for bringing your education to us and allowing us to share this new resource with the community too, because unfortunately this is the reality for so many folks, but it's wonderful to know that there's so much support and so much prevention that's happening out there. Thank you so much. For more information, visit the website zerosuicide.edu.org/resources-parents, or you can scan the QR code on your screen right now. Virginia This Morning returns right after the break.
Welcome back. The Petersburg Sheriff's Office will hold the 14th annual Re-Entry Forum tomorrow.
This year's theme is Continuing the Climb, the Journey Begins. Here to tell us all about it is Petersburg Sheriff Vanessa Crawford, along with Probation and Parole Chief Shantae Thweet. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for coming in today. Why is this so important to hold this type of a forum?
Well, first of all, the folks who are incarcerated are going to be returning to our communities. So it's always better to prepare them to be successful when they return so that we can have a productive citizen when they are released back into our community.
Years ago, I think there was a little bit of a focus like, well, you got to reform these people. They do have to go, like you were saying. And then somewhere along the line, it was just like, just lock them up and throw away the key and forget about it. And obviously, that's not going to work.
No, it's not.
And so you have a big part in parole and making sure that these folks are ready and are deserving of being back in the community.
We do. Virginia Department of Corrections are very proud of our reentry services. We've been dedicated to reentry for quite so many years. We've collaborated with Sheriff Crawford, and we are happy to support her efforts. But we are extremely proud of our partnerships we have with DARS, Department for Aging and Rehabilitative Services, also Virginia Works, Goodwill. What we try to do is remove all barriers that they may come in contact with when they get out, so they can have a smooth transition back into the community.
What are some of those barriers? What are some of the questions that they may have if they've served time and now they're about to go back out there into the world?
I would say the number one barrier would be jobs. Yeah. And if you have been locked up, incarcerated, maybe 5 years, the world has changed.
Yes, it has.
And so things as simple as how they pay for gas or how they pay for anything at the store, those things are barriers because the world changes so fast while they're incarcerated. And so we try to educate and remove those barriers.
Sheriff, you are a native of Petersburg, if I have it right.
You're right.
Grew up there.
I did.
And you've been in this job. I asked you right before the cameras came on how long you've been doing this, and you said
19 years.
19 years.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot has changed over that time. Absolutely. But I think probably the fact that you grew up in that community, you know that community, and just as importantly, that community knows you. And it makes a big difference because you do want everything to grow and improve.
Absolutely. And as Chief Threet just said, Because of my connections in the community, we have so much support in everything we do. And I am blessed to be a part of that Petersburg community. And the programs that we sponsor as a result of those connections have all been successful. We'll knock on wood, but thus far have always been successful. So I love this community. I want to see Petersburg continue to thrive. So whatever I can do to ensure that that happens, my staff and I work toward that.
We talk about so many of the changes, but at the core of it is a human being.
Absolutely.
With the same needs that a human being had 50 years ago, 100 years ago, that shelter, that security, that food, that love, that how do you help to maintain that as they're making this huge transition from time to the world again?
Well, I don't want to miss how important the role of the probation officer is in all of this, because when they come home, it's the probation officer that's going to really talk to the family and let the family know what to expect, especially when someone's been incarcerated for quite some time. And we try to build relationships with the probationer to let them know that they can always call and talk to us and try to connect with us, and we just try to flood them with those resources so they don't have an excuse that they couldn't work, or barriers for mental health, substance abuse. We provide all of that.
Sheriff Crawford, tell us about the forum, because I know you're very proud of it. It's something you've worked hard on for years.
Yes, this is our 14th forum, and it has morphed into something I never would have imagined. We have a solid relationship with the Department of Corrections. But in addition to the Department of Corrections being there on tomorrow, we have resources, as Chief Threet said, that those who are transitioning back into the community will need. Transportation, mental health, just health issues, medical issues, jobs, housing, you name it. We have somebody there. We will have somebody there tomorrow to address it and to assist those who need it. So it's just been amazing these 14 years, and we continue to grow. And additionally, we didn't Skype in or Zoom in to any of the facilities initially, but with our partnership with the Department of Corrections here in Virginia, we're Skyping in or Zooming in to each facility, so those who cannot be in person will still see and have the opportunity to see it by Zoom. All of the local and regional jails have been offered that opportunity, as well as jails throughout the entire country. So it is amazing what has transitioned over the years, and we continue to grow.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing what is being done for our communities. We're all in this together, and we certainly offer our support to your programs and to those individuals who are going to be going back out into society.
Thank you.
Right.
The Petersburg Sheriff's Office presents the 14th Annual Reentry Forum with the theme, Continuing the Climb, the Journey Begins. It's tomorrow, September 10th from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Petersburg Public Library, located at 201 West Washington Street in Petersburg. This is an in-person and virtual event.
For more information, visit virginiathismorning.com. All right, Andreas, we're going to send it over your way.
Here's a reminder to save the date. You can join us to help raise money for the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Richmond. This year's Red Shoe Rendezvous Gala is set for next Monday, September 16th at the Dominion Club in Glen Allen. The theme this year is 60s Palm Springs. To purchase tickets, just scan the QR code on your screen. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Save the date for Monday, September 30th. That's when our Reach Out for Life will host its annual Swing for Pink charity golf tournament. The event raises money to provide free mammograms for women in need in our community.
This annual event is a way to support early detection of a disease that does not discriminate. Our great friend, Nora Lind, the Executive Director of Reach Out for Life, joins us this morning. Hi, Nora.
Hello. Good to see you.
You as well, and we talked just a moment ago about early detection is key, and that's what Reach Out for Life is focused on.
Yes, we've been doing this for a long time. Reach Out for Life administers the free mammography outreach program, which runs a big outreach campaign. Dr. Crawford Ms. Crawford, Sheriff Crawford,
yeah.
just nabbed me to come tomorrow morning to talk to her event, to be there as a service that we can provide, because we'll provide without discrimination free mammography to anyone who truly needs it in the local area, and it's starting to go far beyond that. Every year we're contacted by about 500 people who need help. The biggest way we're contacted is through clinics. About 25 area clinics send referrals to us of their patients, but people can always call individually also. And I imagine the people that we'll meet tomorrow have not set up a medical home base. We help them a little bit, shove them in that direction also, while we're in the process of trying to get them free breast imaging so that there's equity of breast health care in the community.
What are some of the barriers to breast health care that are in the community? Insurance, I would imagine, is one of them. What are some of the others that folks may not be aware of?
Right, we help people who have no insurance, Medicaid or Medicare. And because if they have those resources, we want them to use those so that we can reserve our funds that we raise to provide for the women. There are many barriers to care. Women are taking care of their parents. They're taking care of their children. They have no transportation. The list goes on and on and on. When you have serious need, it goes in many different directions. And we have, of course, a larger than average number of no-shows, as we call them, people who things come up in their lives and we resubmit them, reschedule them for services. That we take the services all the way through the biopsy level. And unfortunately, this year, we have already had 7 women with breast cancer in the program. And that's where we have to turn it over to someone else, because it becomes very, very expensive at that point. And that can be a problem. So a huge problem people have in the community is trying to figure out healthcare. Where do I go? What do I do? And we navigate them. We navigate them with English-speaking and Spanish-speaking navigators who really try to provide a support system. And this can often be very muddy territory where they don't know which way to turn because they have no funds to pay for.
That's right.
And you talked about a network of people who are truly coming together to surround those who need support. And that comes at a cost. And so this is the reason for your Reach Out for Life golf tournament, to make sure that we are raising the proper funds to offer these incredible services.
And we're doing this September 30th. That's right, as you're entering Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. So we want to get you out there for your first little breast cancer awareness event. And it's a wonderful event. It's been going on for about 7 or 8 years. I see pictures. Every year, Greg McQuaid, every year, has been the MC. He's terrific, does a great job, and he'll have a team there also. We have wonderful prizes. We have, this year, some of our medical sponsors are really stepping up to the plate. We have a new clinic this year called Dandelion, and Dandelion said, hey, don't you have a QR code that we can put out in the office so people can scan it and make a donation? So I had that done lickety-split because I had never thought of it, being a little old for that sort of thing. But it's a wonderful idea, and now I think we can really go to town with that idea. So they're wonderful partners, and we have the same actual big event sponsors as last year. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa and Short Pump in 2 other locations was a big event sponsor along last year with the women's golfers of Salisbury Country Club, who came through in such a big way. And they have a woman there, Jenny Regal, who helps us in so much to make it a fabulous event. And so they stepped up to the plate again this year and became a big event sponsor. I didn't even have to really do the front page of the program over except for to change the dates because I had the same sponsors helping out. But we have a lot more than that too. Those are just my big primo sponsors. So it's wonderful to have the support in the community, and it means so much. And it's not just people out there, you know, to play golf, although that's certainly part of the cause, I know, the reason. We give them lunch from Chick-fil-A, we give them fabulous raffle prizes. This year, in their goodie bags, everybody gets a $50 gift card to Ruth Chris.
Wow.
I mean, that's a pretty good little goodie bag item. So thanks to Jenny Regal out there with all her hustling in the community to make it happen for us. So, you know, everybody knows someone who's had breast cancer or they've had it in their own family. That's, I think, what pushes this forward is that it's everywhere. And we have a man coming through the program now. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And that's one thing, we have always helped everybody. There is no cutoff point other than if you have too much money or too much insurance. So in that case, you're taken care of anyway.
Well, we are truly looking forward to kicking off Breast Cancer Awareness Month with the Reach Out for Life 2024 Swing for Pink. Thank you so much for being with us, Nora.
Thank you.
And thanks for all you do.
We really appreciate the support.
Reach Out for Life presents the 2024 Swing for Pink Charity Golf Tournament. Again, Monday, September 30th at Hunting Hawk Golf Club, 15201 Ashland Road in Glen Allen, Virginia.
And there's room for more teams to sign.
Room for more teams. You heard it here first, folks. Registration begins at 10 a.m. for the 11 a.m. shotgun start.
For registration details, we'll put a link on our show website by early this afternoon at virginiathismorning.com. All right, Mr. B, we're sending it over to you.
Thank you very much. Although Breast Cancer Awareness Month is recognized in October, it's important to keep it top of mind all year long. Right now, we want to share CBS 6 anchor Reba Hollingworth's monthly report and our Buddy Check 6 report.
For 2 decades, Regina Boone has been telling compelling stories through the lens of her camera. But these days, the Richmond Free Press photographer is on the other side of the lens, telling her own story.
I experienced a whirlwind within one day.
That day, June 12th, 2023.
There was just so much going on.
Regina was in the thick of planning her September wedding. On the same day of closing on the couple's new home, Regina got news she didn't expect: breast cancer.
And so my mind just started spinning for a second. I was like, okay, get it together. It'll be fine. We'll beat this. I'll beat this.
An annual mammogram found Regina's tumor. A month later, she had a lumpectomy. But before she started chemo and radiation, she had just one request of her doctors.
I said, can we please just wait until after my wedding?
It's the celebration Regina needed for her soul.
I think I fed off of that happiness, that joy, that energy.
Days after her wedding, Regina's rounds of treatment began, and so did the sickness and the weakness.
I wasn't really feeling myself. I was sleeping a lot. There's no way I could have been in the streets.
Regina went on medical leave for months, which meant stepping away from the Richmond Free Press. It's the independent paper her father, Raymond Boone, started in 1992. He died of pancreatic cancer in 2014. For Regina's cancer journey, it's a place she never thought she would ever be again.
And in my head, I thought I had checked that box, and I had been cleared for so many years.
In 1974, just 4 years old, Regina complained of intense stomach pain and was rushed to St. Mary's Hospital.
They opened me up to do an emergency appendectomy, and it was not my appendix. And that's when they found there was a mass on my small ovary.
Regina, the little girl, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. She was treated at Massey Cancer Center, which had just opened in Richmond.
My dad was an editor at the Afro-American newspaper, so of course he still had work and deadlines and stuff. So my mom was off, and so she would stay in the hospital with me. I do remember going to school bald, and I remember Kojak was on TV then. And I do remember some people making some comments that maybe I look like Kojak.
And she can't forget the day her dad came home with a wig.
And I refused to wear it. I was like, oh, heck no. even back then, and even now, this time around. I wore no wigs. I just rocked it bald, and I just embraced it.
50 years later, Regina is still embracing for whatever comes.
I have a renewed respect for myself and what I can get through.
And great news, Regina is now cancer-free. She recently joined Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center's advisory board as Massey is celebrating 50 years. And CBS 6 will air a special next month to commemorate the anniversary. For Buddy Check 6, I'm Reba Hollingsworth.
This segment is sponsored by Mr. Fix-It.
Most people don't realize how important gutter protection is to their home. Here to tell us all about the benefits of Gutter Helmet is our friend Mark Benstock, owner of Mr. Fix-It. Good to see you again. Yeah. Welcome back. We have talked about this in the past, but I want to kind of drive home the fact that safety for you and your home, but mostly for you, is step one in Gutter Helmet.
Yeah, we've lost count of how many customers have shared with us all those tragic stories about somebody falling and around the house, getting up on that ladder and, you know, getting injured badly. Gutter helmets, one of the gutters are necessary evil for a house. You have to have the gutters. You've got to be able to get during those heavy rains, even the light rains, get that water controlled and away from the home to help protect the home, protect the landscaping, all that stuff, you know, keep the critters away. Yep. But the necessary step is to have gutter guards on the home that work 24/7, 365, and the cheap Gazmos and filters and things like that that are out there, they're not that long-term successful product. Gutter Helmet is. Gutter Helmet has a lifetime performance warranty. I've had it on my house for crazy years, whether it's a heavy snow that can sit on top or whether it's in the fall, all the leaves falling, or in the springtime, those thunderstorms. Gutter Helmet's going to be there. And again, when we say triple lifetime warranty, it's because it's a material warranty, it's a performance warranty, and it's transferable. So if you go to sell your house, you transfer it to somebody else. So makes it good.
We've talked in the past of, you know, it's not something you see from the street when the house is for sale.
Right.
But if you tell people that are interested in your house that Gutter Helmet is up there, and if they know, or if you have to tell them the story, then that makes a huge difference, because then you're not up on the ladder again or paying someone to get on the ladder.
Exactly right. So you don't have to worry about being stressed out of, uh-oh, the gutters are clogged again. Do it. If you like to golf, you never have to worry about cleaning your gutters again, but just get out there and have fun on the weekends.
All right, you have a special offer for us right now, because it is special, so tell us about that.
Right now, no payments, no interest for 12 months, or even some folks say, hey, I just want a tiny monthly payment, so $75 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gutter Helmet has been around for a long time. I know you've been doing it, you said, in your house for years and years. And the people that have it installed are so happy with it. We just had a situation at our house where the gutters were fine, everything's working good, but we needed to get that little attachment that goes on to, again, get the water further away from the house, because we have a basement. Right. So getting that water away from the house is essential. It obviously, if you got clogged gutters, it's going to cause problems up in the air and on the ground.
Well, you're right, and that's what we bring to the table. We're celebrating our 54th year in business, so we are experts at this, and we're going to come out free of charge to do an evaluation, and we'll make recommendations. We might say, hey, you know that downspout right there, it needs to be a little bit larger sized, or hey, there's one that we need to add another one, and this one we need to make a little extension like you're talking about, and get it a further, because we're taking a look about the lay of the land and how the water flows when it rains heavy. Is it flowing towards the house, away from the house? So we'll make those recommendations and give, you know, free advice on how to protect your home.
It makes a huge difference, and Gutter Helmet works. I don't think we said that. It works, folks.
That's right.
Thank you so much for coming in and filling us in on this. Here's a special offer just for you. Mr. Fix-It is offering no interest and no payments for 12 months. Plus, enjoy $300 off your Gutter Helmet project. The Mr. Fix-It showroom is located at 10,189 Maple Leaf Court in Ashland, Virginia. Please give them a call at 804-726-8006 or visit MrFixItVA.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Virginia This Morning. Before we wrap things up, here's a look ahead to tomorrow's live show. Our friends at Strawberry Fields, Flowers, and Finds provide us with our weekly floral arrangements. They're hosting a special flower workshop where you can create your own centerpieces using dahlias. We'll share the blooming details. And Grace and Holly Trinity Church is hosting their Music for a Fall Day concert. We'll enjoy a live in-studio performance by Caroline Wisnant and Daniel Stipe. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. All right, Bill and Amy, sending it back your way.
Thank you. And we got some of those flowers right here on our table.
So beautiful, always.
We always do a great job. Another great show as we kick off another week. Thank you all to you, of course, and to our guests. We really appreciate everybody.
We had so many important topics on today: suicide prevention, mammography, re-entry to society after incarceration. So these are big topics, and it's just really an honor and a privilege to be able to bring those to the community, because we're all in this together.
Yep, it definitely is, and it's interesting that we have people that are out there every single day doing something to make our community better. We don't always have them all on the same day, but we did today, and it was kind of inspiring. Good way to start our Monday. Our live Tuesday show will be on tomorrow morning, of course.
And it's smooth day. We hope that you'll make plans to join us starting at 8:56 a.m. We hope that you have a great Monday and make it a motivational Monday. Like, what did Stacey Hawkins Adams say today? Something about do what you have with what you got.
Make the most of it.
That's what we're going to do today.
That's what we're doing.
We hope that you do it too.
Have a great day. I couldn't remember that.
I couldn't remember it either, but the way she said it originally was so eloquent.